Hi, my name's Nikki and welcome to Yarny Robin. Today I'm going to be talking about the V-cluster stitch, which is a lovely pretty stitch and it's really versatile for use. Well, this is my bonnet that I've made with the V-cluster stitch, but it's really useful for things like blankets, scarves. It's quite a dense stitch, so it's really good for those sort of winter things, but of course if you make it in a finer yard it would be suitable for sort of other seasons as well, but I'm going to talk about doing that today. So what you're going to need to do is get yourself a hook and yarn. I've just got some Stylecraft Aran, which is worsted weight yarn, and we're going to start by we work this in rows, and once you've got the first couple of rows in, it's just a single row repeat, so it's nice and easy. So what we're going to do is start by making a chain. So I'll just get my yarn on the hook, and what you want to do is chain a chain of multiples of 3. So if we just go ahead and just make a little one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that'll do us. So with 12 is a multiple of 3, and then we're just going to do 2 more chains. So you want a starting chain of 3 plus 2, multiples of 3, and then 2 extras on the end. And what we're going to do is we're going to just put some double crochets across here just to make that nice and sturdy for our base. I'm using English terminology, so a DC, a double crochet is what we're using. If you're using American terminology, it'd be a single crochet for you. And we're going to start by putting the first double crochet, single crochet, in the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, it's in that second chain there. So you can, I'm just checking this is in focus. So you could just put it right through the middle like you would do a regular stitch, but I like to just put these first ones in the back bump because it makes the chain a little bit neater. So we're going to put 1, 2, it's a little bit tight, 3, 4, and you just want to put them in each stitch all the way along. So I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so this is the last one. Last one's always a bit fiddly because it's always the tightest one. So there we have our chain, which is all completed along the row. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start our first row of V clusters. So you want to turn your chain, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That counts as our first treble. Remember, we're using UK terminology, so if you're using US terminology it would be a double crochet, but that counts as our first treble. We're going to miss a stitch, so that chain is in that stitch, miss a stitch, and then we're going to be working into this stitch. So you yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop. So you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops left on your hook, yarn over and insert your hook into the same space, pull up another loop, so you've now got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. And that's the first part of your V cluster made. What we're going to do now is we're going to chain 1, and we're going to repeat that process in exactly the same space. So we're going back into this stitch here, so yarn over, insert hook into the same space, pull up a loop, So you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over, insert hook into the same space again and pull up another loop. So you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. And that is your first V cluster made. So you can see you've got a cluster here and a cluster here with a chain 1 space in between, and that's a V cluster stitch. So we'll do that again, but this time we're going to miss 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and we'll be working into this stitch here. So yarn over, insert hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, so there are 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert hook into the same space, pull up a loop, so there are 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining 3, chain 1, and then repeat the process in the same space. So yarn over, insert hook into the same space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert hook into the same space and pull up another loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3, and that's your second V cluster made. So just to recap, from the beginning of the row you've done a chain of 3, missed a stitch, V cluster in the next stitch, missed 2 stitches, V cluster, and what we're going to do now is miss 2 stitches, V cluster, until we get to the last 2 stitches of the row. So miss 2 stitches, V cluster, so we're going to miss 2 stitches, and then we've got the last 2 stitches of the row. So miss 2 stitches, put your last V cluster in, there we go, and you've got 2 stitches left. So we've got, if you can see, we've got 2 stitches left, 1, 2. So you're going to miss a stitch, and in the last stitch you're going to just put a treble stitch. There we go, and that is your first row in. Bring that down a little bit so you can see. Just stretch it out a bit because it'd be easier to see. So you've got chain 3, miss a stitch, V cluster in the next stitch, miss 2 stitches, V cluster in the next stitch, miss 2 stitches, V cluster in the next stitch, miss 2 stitches, V cluster in the next stitch, miss a stitch, treble in the last stitch. So what we're now going to do is we are going to put the third row in. I can get it to focus. So we're just going to turn our work again, and we're going to start with chain 3 again, which counts as that treble stitch. And what we're going to do now is we're going to be placing the V clusters in these chain 1 spaces. So in between each of the V is your chain 1 space. So we're just going to put the V cluster in this space here. And you just basically repeat that along the line until you get to the end. So we'll just put this first V cluster in. And then to do the next V cluster, you just go to the next chain 1 space which will be here. So yarn over, insert hook into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops on your hook, pull through 3 loops on your hook, chain 1, and repeat the same in that same chain 1 space. So pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the same chain 1 space, pull up another loop, so you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. And you can see what happens is the V clusters line up neatly on top of one another. So we'll just put the next couple in. And then the last one of the row you would just complete as the others. So there's our first half of the V cluster, chain 1, second half of the V cluster, and it's a really easy pattern to remember. And then what we need to do is then just put a treble in the top. That was our chain 3 of the first row, so we just need to put a treble in the top of that stitch. So we've got 1, 2, 3, so it just goes in that bit there, and we just put a treble in. So you probably see a little bit better now that we've got those in, how the pattern's starting to look. Move that across a little bit. It's a really pretty, oh that's probably a little bit better, a pretty pattern. And you basically now just repeat this row that we've just done, this third row, you just repeat it for the whole of your pattern as it states. So you just turn, chain 3, and then you put your V clusters in the chain 1 spaces all across, and you end with a treble in the last stitch. And you just continue along the row like that, and that is your V cluster stitch. So that is the V cluster stitch. If you do go and make something with V cluster stitch, please tag me, because I'd love to see what you've made. If you're looking for a pattern, there is my October bonnet. I find that in my Etsy shop over at Yarny Robin. Goes from sizes newborn to 4 years, and it's a really pretty bonnet, lovely for pumpkin picking and that sort of thing. So yeah, so let me know, tag me, give me a like, give me a follow, and I'll see you next time.